Hello, my name is Mike, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins for what I guess is going to be the epilogue, unless there's some kind of post-game content. We just defeated the Archdemon, Alistair is alive, and so am I, but Morrigan has disappeared, as she said she would. So I guess I'm going to see if I can pick up any leads on her, and see what my compatriots are going to do now that the Blight has been ended.
How incredible that it survived. It has exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, I'm constantly impressing you, aren't I? I'm not as squishy as you think.
Apparently not. Thankfully, it appears to be the exception when it comes to its kind. Otherwise, I might be forced to revise my opinion completely. But I will go now. I am thinking I will return to Orzammar. Perhaps I will fight the Darkspawn in the deep roads. Clear them out for good. They remind me of pigeons.
I think if you do that, people might build a statue of you in your honor. That might take a while. There are quite a lot of Darkspawn down there.
It appears that time is a luxury I possess. The Blight may be over,
suppose
but
so.
the Darkspawn will just go underground once again. Perhaps I can do something to aid the dwarves. It is a worthy quest. Something worth existing for. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Good. Perhaps I will see it again one day. I hope so. For a flesh creature, it has been excellent company.
And you have been much more fun than most rocks I talk to. Archdemon, I'm glad you didn't die. Or you did die and then you got revived.
It is over. I can barely believe it. You stopped the Civil War and then defeated the Blight. On behalf of Ferelden, allow me to say thank you. It truly cannot be said enough.
I'm a Grey Warden. That's what we do.
So I'm learning. It's too bad that you aren't remaining here in the capital. The hero of Ferelden would have influence, but I understand. Myself, I will be returning to Redcliffe. There is much to rebuild there, and since you are to be Chancellor, there is no need for me to remain. Connor seems well enough, but Isolde, she does not wish to go back. I may yet leave the land to Tegan, in fact. I cannot thank you enough for saving them. They are the joy of my existence. Tell me, have you noticed anything strange about the lad? He seems quiet.
Well, first things first, we probably shouldn't both leave Alistair alone. One of us should probably take turns leaving. So you stay here, and I'll leave and find Morrigan and figure out what her deal was. Then I'll come back, and then you can leave. As for the child, I have no idea why he would be reacting strange.
The way he looks at me at times, it's as if... No, that cannot be. It is my imagination. But here I am rambling on. I shall let you get back to your celebration, Warden. Enjoy it while you can.
I think I shall. And Irving! Irving made it as well.
It is very strange to hear so many speak of a mage in such glowing terms. Deserved, of course, but still not what I am accustomed to. Allow me to offer you my congratulations, and my thanks. The tower is now nearly restored to order. It could have been so much worse.
I suppose it could. And it almost was.
Indeed. Let us hope the people never realize how close we came to disaster. It pleases me to see such a young pupil achieve prominence. I look forward to watching what you accomplish next. Now, I should leave you to your celebration. Uldred's revolt has left me very quick to tire these days. Retirement will come soon, I think.
Well, I'm happy to have you still alive, Irving. I saw you up there in the final battle. I thought you'd fall just like Archdemon, but apparently death is nothing to us, because we can cast Revive on each other, right? And Liliana, I see you're all dressed up.
So here we are. The conquering hero has won the day, and now he takes his bow and exits the stage. A fine ending.
But does the hero get his girl?
Yes. Yes, he most certainly does. You know, I can't help now but think of my vision. The Maker sent me to help you, and look what you did. It's a miracle. It truly is. So, if I heard right, you'll be leaving soon. Any room for an extra body on your travels?
I think the tent might be cold without another body nearby.
Good. Because there's nowhere I'd rather be than at your side. At any rate, I should let you get back to your celebration before someone drags you away. I look forward to seeing you again afterwards.
I would be happy to have you join me on my travels, Liliana, once I find Morrigan and we figure out what her deal is. Yeah, maybe I'll come back and you can become the Chancellor's wife. Wouldn't that be a strange turn of events for all of us? And Zevran, he's also dressed up nicely. I guess you don't want to wear your rogue robes.
I will be relieved when all this pomp and ceremony is done. Such events are perfect opportunities for assassins, after all. I can't help but expect the crows to appear at any moment, which would be a welcome break, mind you.
Yeah, it is weird seeing you out of your armor, not armed. Do you still think the crows will come after you after all this?
Eventually. With Taliesin dead, it may take them time to figure out what has happened, but they are like the tides, predictable. You know, it does occur to me that staying in one place is only going to invite the crows to find me that much quicker. While fun, that might eventually get complicated. You said earlier that you are planning on leaving soon. Is that true?
That is true. Are you planning on coming along?
You tend to get up to interesting things. You meet interesting people and then you kill them. I'm game to tag along if you are.
Yeah, I'd be happy to have some company.
And I promise not to get you into too much trouble. Well, no more than you get me into, anyhow. Well then, since we're going to be leaving together, we can speak after you have been sufficiently paraded in front of the populace.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on you and make sure no one gets a clear shot. Not without paying me a great deal of coin, anyhow.
I feel so safe. Thank you, Zevran. Alright, so I might not be bringing Alistair with me. He's got to stay and be king. And Shale's going to go return to Orzammar, but if there is some post-game content, Zevran and Liliana seem to be considering joining me, which would be fun. What about Wynne? I need a healer.
The hero of Ferelden. My. How does it feel?
It's a little bland, I suppose, the hero of Ferelden.
Alistair's idea, I understand. Which should explain much. But it's not so bad, is it? A Blight defeated with the other nations barely becoming aware. Who could ask for better?
Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, I guess the Orlesian troops haven't even arrived, have they? I wonder how long the love will last.
Until you do something wrong. And then they will enjoy tearing you down just as rapidly. I'm glad not to be on the receiving end of all this attention myself. I say, let the young have their fame. Not that I've gone without notice. Irving asked me to take over as first enchanter, but I don't wish to go back. Not after all this. Instead, I've decided to accept a position here at court. There's not been a mage advising the throne for a very long time.
Ooh. Yeah, I was kind of hoping you'd stay with me, but Alistair does need someone advising him, and you do seem wise, so... Alistair asked you to stay, did he?
He's a good lad, and his heart is in the right place. He wants to see the lot of mages improved, and I am willing to help him. It seems you and I will see each other in court as well. I look forward to it. For now, I imagine the hero of Ferelden still has much to do. Good luck.
I suppose so. And Oghren. Oghren is surrounded by fellow dwarves. And I think that's the girl he was hitting on earlier.
Humans have a better taste for spirits than I thought. The ale up here is actually good. Orzammar ale tastes like dirt in comparison. Probably because they put dirt in it. Go figure.
They probably shouldn't put dirt in it anymore. Are you going to go back to Orzammar? Because if you do, Shale's heading back that way as well.
I don't know. Maybe eventually. I'm getting used to that big sky up there. And I'm thinking I might just look up Felsi again. See where that goes.
Oh, I thought Felsi was standing next to you. My mistake. And I'm glad you're feeling so optimistic as well. It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, well, you know me. I'm all about the cheery, romantic optimism. Ah, well, enough babbling. That pot-bellied son of a whore Tegan said I'd pass out before drinking an entire barrel of pickle juice. I aim to prove him wrong.
All right. Don't ever change, Oghren.
Who, me? It's been good traveling with you, Warden. Don't get lost in the shuffle now.
I'm glad I brought you along, Oghren. You've been quite the well, you've been a little down, honestly. You've been quite depressing, but I feel like you've grown a bit. I feel like you're actually gonna overcome all of your past problems and become a hero. A hero to all dwarves everywhere. They'll write stories about you. Alright, how's it going, Stan?
It is good to see you again, Kadan. These people, they call you hero. It is a strange word, but I think I understand its meaning. The Arishok on occasion has declared a Kunari to be Kunoran Vel, one who serves as an example to others. Such examples are always made after their death, however, a death in service to the Kyun. A living Kunoran Vel would be too proud.
That is understandable, and it does feel like the same thing, but maybe not.
Not for the Kunoran Vel. For the Kunari people, it is a cause for much celebration. It is one of few occasions when the Kunari are permitted to engage in revelry. There is imbibing of spirits, public chanting, meditations abandoned. It is madness.
I didn't think Kunari could enjoy themselves.
We take great joy in every aspect of our lives. The Kyun demands it. I suppose I should tell you. I have decided to return to my people. Your quest is done, and thus so is my reason for accompanying you.
What about that whole thing where they execute you for having lost your sword? I guess you've got your sword back, so it doesn't matter. So, alright. That'll be a long trip, I suppose.
Yes. It will be difficult to travel alone, after so much time spent with companions. It must be said, you found my sword and gave me a chance to restore my honor. I owe you a great debt.
Well, you helped me too, so, yeah. I don't know if that's a debt, though. Yeah, you don't owe me anything.
Some debts cannot be discarded. There will come a time when I will return, and then it shall be done. Perhaps I shall see you again one day. Until then, may you always find the path you seek. Farewell, Kadan.
Farewell, Sten. You know what? You're not too bad. You're not great, but you're okay. I guess we're done. We have saved the day, and wow, it was quite the intense battle. That took a long time, honestly, to carve through them all. But we're done here, and Alistair will have the leadership he needs in Wynn, at least, for the short time.
The crowd is waiting for you outside. We can speak more afterwards if you like.
Okay, then let's go meet my adoring public, which doesn't sound too appetizing, but yeah, let's go out there and go greet the world. It's a new day.
Are you ready, my lord? The crowds outside are getting restless.
Yeah, I think I talked to everybody. Let's go.
Right. I'll take you there now. Follow me.
In the months that followed his coronation, Alistair proved to be a popular king, if largely unwilling to involve himself in matters of governing. He traveled often, making appearances in towns throughout Ferelden to the great delight of the commoners. They referred to him as a king with the common touch, even if a few knew it was a simple aversion to life at court. It would have been better if we could have gotten Honora to help him govern, but apparently she just wasn't in the mood to marry her father's murderer, which I guess makes sense. As Alistair's chancellor, I was the face most often seen at court. In truth, I ruled the nation, and did so with King Alistair's blessing. Whenever I left Denerim on personal affairs, the business of the court effectively came to a standstill. Alright, so, it looks like this country does have someone ruling it after all. Me! So, even though I'm not a king, I've got the duties and responsibilities of one. News that the Urn of Sacred Ashes had been found in Ferelden did not spread outside the Chantry until Brother Genetivi made an announcement several months after the defeat of the Darkspawn. And he wrote a manuscript that detailed his research and his experience with the cult that drew large interest. Sounds like everything went alright with that. And then the Chantry found Andraste's ashes, and a ripple of excitement spread among the pious people of Thedas, with lots of pilgrimage. Okay, lots of pilgrimages took place. I thought that would get, torn apart by people who were just trying to take the ashes for themselves, but apparently it worked out well. And the Tower of the Circle of Magi was finally cleansed of the last spirits to slip through the veil. No further abominations were created. Enchanter Irving was pleased, the circle was safe, and that's probably the best resolution. The slavers were shut down in the alienage, a lot of the city-born elves were improved. The new king even named a local elder to his personal court, which was a scandal among the humans, but a sign of new hope for the elves. Oh good, we made things great for the elves in the alienage. Arl Eamon returned to Redcliffe and rebuilt that place. Connor was set off to study at the Circle, which makes sense because he is a mage, and he passed his harrowing and became a full mage. At his father's urging, he agreed to accept a position in Tevinter to undertake formal study of the Fade. The Dalish elves prospered after the siege of Denerim, earning lots of respect for their part in the battle. Wary of their human neighbors, however, kept tensions high, and only Keeper Lanaya's leadership kept peace alive. Oh good, so Keeper Lanaya was able to keep peace. Good. In Orzammar, King Haramont found himself in a protracted battle against Balin's rebellion that left him unable to gain the stability he needed. Oh. The clan lords objected to many of his measures in the assembly, and only his efforts to increase the dwarf's isolationism from the surface met with any success. Oh. Well, that's not the best resolution, I think. I don't know what else I could have done there to change that, but okay. In time, his health began to fail. Some claimed it was poison. Either way, he finally passed away. And then the assembly wrangled for a successor immediately. Well, okay, elves are alright, humans alright, dwarves have descended into chaos. That's okay. 2 out of 3 is not bad, right? The dwarven mage Dagna ultimately completed her studies at the rebuilt Circle Tower on the surface. And, okay, so at least one person prospered from that. Although the Anvil of the Void was destroyed, rumors about its location crept into Orzammar, and a few determined smiths managed to locate the anvil's remains, so even though we destroyed it, it does not seem that we have finished off the golems. They examined the rules of the anvil and returned to Orzammar with their findings, and convinced the Shaperate to recreate Carradin's research. A new golem was created, bound with a spirit taken from the Fade, because that always works well. The golem immediately went insane, killing several Shapers before it was destroyed. And the research was branded excessively dangerous and sealed away. Okay, good. As good as it can be, I suppose. As good to her word, Morrigan disappeared once the Archdemon was slain. Someone of her description was seen traveling alone months later, heading west through the Frostback Mountains, and she may even have been with child. There was no word of her after that. With Flemeth dead, or at least gone, the chances of tracking her down were slim indeed. One cannot help but wonder, however, what became of her child? What were her plans? These questions remain a mystery for now, until I track her down. As for the companions, they were sent separate ways. When Mike finally left Denerim to continue his travels, Liliana went with him, electing to remain with the man she loved. They continued their adventures together, at least for a time, and then Zevran was with us, I guess, but I suppose he was not important enough to be mentioned. The fight against the Darkspawn was not yet complete. Although the Horde was routed and had dissolved, many of the more powerful Darkspawn survived to organize roving warbands. And those warbands spread havoc, as you might imagine they would, but those are tales yet to be told. And that was it. That was Dragon Age Origins, and I must say, I was blown away by how big it was. That was quite the expansive journey, and it had a lot of really amazing characters. The combat, of course, is not my cup of tea. It's just kind of tedious, but I can put up with it because the characters and the storytelling was so great, and it feels like there were a lot of different ways that my decisions affected the world. Speaking of which, I'm going to look that up right now to see exactly... That Landsmeet feels like it could have gone about a million different ways. Wow, there is a lot of things that are going on in the background, apparently. Okay. Grand Cleric's denunciation. I don't think I got that. I don't think a Grand Cleric denounced Loghain. Yeah, I don't think I even met this person. Grand Cleric Alemena does not vote, but denounces Loghain if Lost Templar is completed. I think I missed that quest. Vaughn Candelis is the rightful Arl of Denerim, and he can be released from Howe's prison in exchange for his vote. I did not do that. Apparently there was someone in Arl Howe's prison that I did not release, so I lost his vote. I guess I did not need it, though. Ah, okay, so there is one person who votes against me by default. Alright, so I couldn't have one over everyone. Well, aside from that one guy, I guess, no one else really talked out against me, so that's probably the best outcome I could have had. If I had done more stuff for the crows, I would have had more people supporting me. Alright. If I have not gained support of the majority of nobles, I lose the debate. If that happens, Loghain will order me executed. Oh wow, there are a lot of different options. A lot of different things that happen at the end of the lands meet. Ooh, yeah. Oh, God. So many different outcomes. Holy cow. Alistair might rule on his own. Yeah, that's what happened with me. He might also rule jointly with Anora. Rule jointly with a female human noble. So if I had chosen to be a human noble female, I could have become his queen. I could have let Anora rule. Alistair could have been executed by Anora, or he could have become a drunk, wandering around and eventually winding up in Kirkwall. Holy cow. This is very impressive. I am impressive at the amount of different endings to this game. I could have become king. I could have married Queen Anora, and if I were a human male noble, I could have married Queen Anora. Oh wow, I missed out on a companion as well. Like, I recruited so many companions, but apparently I missed one. That is... wow, that is something else. There's a possibility that Liliana at the end would go fight Darkspawn in the Deep Roads, so she could have joined Shale. I'm scrolling through the list here, and there are so many options. This is amazing. This is definitely the mark of a top quality game. Wow. There are so many endings to this game. I've just been scrolling and scrolling and reading, and it sounds like this is quite the experience. So I'm actually interested in watching somebody else play this. I might look up a couple of other playthroughs on YouTube to see how other people have played this game, because it sounds like there are so many different ways this could have gone. And it starts off with 6 possible different origin stories as well. And from what I've seen, a lot of people respond to the origin you pick, and the gender you pick, and the race you pick. So, wow, a lot of different branching pathways of this game. Very impressive. I am looking forward to playing the sequel to this game. I know Dragon Age 2 is a thing. I heard it got weaker reviews than the first game, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna try and import my save. I'm not sure. Before I do that, though, I heard there is a lot of really good content that I should check out. So I'll probably take the moment to check out some of the DLC for this game. But for now, I'm done. That was a very impressive game, very commendable, and maybe I'll play this again in my spare time. It's that good. It is that good. And I highly recommend this game to anyone who's interested in playing it for themselves, because it feels like you could definitely play it in a completely different manner if you wanted to. But until next time, my name is Mike, and this has been Dragon Age Origins. Thank you for joining me.